Ever noticed how your single friend who's been solo for years suddenly starts referring to his plants as his emotional support system? Or how he's convinced that his microwave is judging him? Pause. Well, today we're diving into the fascinating world of what happens the longer a man has been without a relationship. Spoiler alert, it's not just about eating cereal for dinner 3 times a week. Smile. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll either laugh, nod in agreement, or both. Let's face it, relationships are like Wi-Fi. When you have it, you don't think much about it. But when it's gone, you suddenly realize how much you relied on it to function. Pause. And the longer you're without it, the more dramatic pause interesting things get. So, what really happens to a man's mind, habits, and even his sense of humor when he's been single for a while? Lean in, buckle up, because we're about to find out. And trust me, it's a wild ride. Point 1. Independence levels skyrocket. First things first, the longer a man goes without a relationship, the more self-sufficient he becomes. Pause. And by self-sufficient, I mean he's basically MacGyver. Need a shelf fixed? He's got it. Dinner? He's perfected the art of the one-pan meal. Laundry? He's color-coding like a pro. Pause. But here's the catch. This independence can sometimes turn into a superpower he doesn't want to give up. Smile. Imagine being so good at being alone that the idea of someone else folding your socks feels like an invasion of privacy. Wait, you fold them into squares, I roll them into balls. This will never work. Pause. It's like he's built his own little kingdom, and he's not sure he wants to share the throne. Point 2. Standards get specific. Another thing that happens, his standards get very specific. Pause. When you've been single for a while, you start to notice things you never cared about before. Like, does she laugh at my jokes? Does she understand my deep love for 90s sitcoms? Can she handle my weird habit of naming my houseplants after Marvel characters? Pause. The longer he's single, the more these little quirks become deal breakers. It's not just about finding someone nice anymore. It's about finding someone who appreciates his extensive collection of mismatched socks. Smile. And let's be real, that's a tall order. Point 3. Overthinking becomes an Olympic sport. Here's where it gets interesting. Pause. The longer a man is single, the more he overthinks. A simple text message becomes a 10-page novel. She said, "Hey," instead of "hello." What does that mean? Is she mad? Is she Canadian? Did I offend her by not replying within 3.7 seconds? Pause. Overthinking becomes his full-time job, and let's just say he's Employee of the Month every month. Smile. It's like his brain has a PhD in analyzing every little detail, even when there's nothing to analyze. Point 4. Comfort zones turn into fortresses. Comfort zones are great, right? Pause. But the longer a man is single, the more his comfort zone turns into a fortress. He's got his routines down to a science. Gym at 6 a.m., pizza at 7 p.m., and exactly 27 minutes of scrolling through memes before bed. Pause. Introducing someone new into this perfectly balanced ecosystem feels like inviting a tornado into a library. Wait, you want to watch a movie before dinner? Who hurt you? Smile. It's not that he's resistant to change. It's just that he's built a life that works for him, and change feels risky. Point 5. Humor gets darker. Let's talk about humor. Pause. The longer a man is single, the darker and more sarcastic his jokes get. He's not just making jokes about life, he's making jokes about his life. Oh, you think you're bad at relationships? I once ghosted someone because they used too many emojis. I'm basically a rom-com villain. Pause. But hey, At least he's self-aware, right? Smile. It's like his humor becomes a shield, protecting him from the vulnerability of actually opening up. Point 6. Emotional walls get taller. Here's the thing. Being single for a long time can build emotional walls. Pause, and not just little picket fences. We're talking full-on castle walls with a moat and a dragon. Smile. The longer he's alone, the harder it is to let someone in. It's not that he doesn't want to, it's just that he's forgotten how. Wait, you want me to talk about my feelings? I thought we were just here for the free breadsticks. Pause. It's like his heart has its own security system, and the password is, "I'm fine, really." Point 7. Self-discovery goes into overdrive. On the flip side, being single for a long time can lead to some serious self-discovery. Pause. He's had time to figure out what he wants, what he doesn't want, and why he cries every time he hears "All Too Well" by Taylor Swift. Smile. He's become his own best friend, therapist, and life coach. And while that's amazing, it can also make the idea of sharing his life with someone else feel complicated. Pause. It's like he's spent so long building his own world that he's not sure how to let someone else in without it feeling like an invasion. Point 8. The fear of settling. And then there's the fear of settling. Pause. The longer he's single, the more he wonders if he's too picky or if he's just waiting for the right person. Do I really need someone who loves my weird hobbies, or am I just avoiding commitment? Pause. It's a tough balance, wanting to stay true to himself while also being open to love. Smile. It's like he's standing at a crossroads, and every path feels both right and wrong at the same time. Point 9. The quiet loneliness. Let's get real for a second. Pause. Despite all the independence and self-discovery, there are moments, quiet moments, when the loneliness hits. Pause. It's not always about wanting a relationship. Sometimes it's just about wanting someone to share the little things with. Like, "Hey, did you see that sunset?" Or, "Can you believe this pizza is only $5?" Smile. It's in those moments that he realizes being single isn't just about being alone. It's about missing the connection. Conclusion. So what's the takeaway here? Pause. The longer a man has been without a relationship, the more he changes, sometimes for the better, sometimes in ways that make him a little unique. Smile. But here's the thing. Being single isn't a bad thing. It's a chance to grow, to learn, and to figure out what really matters. Pause. And who knows? Maybe one day he'll meet someone who appreciates his mismatched socks, his dark humor, and his emotional support plants. Until then, he's just out here, living his best single life, one microwave dinner at a time. Thanks for watching. If you related to any of this, drop a comment below. And if you've been single for a while, don't worry. Your plants think you're doing great. Smile. See you next time.